throws knockdowns, he loses those rounds too. You know what I'm saying? Like Fury got up on the rest of and the remainder of those knockdown rounds.
Well, if I was 6'5", I'll be in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
of course.
so you can.
What I'm saying is, that's why I gave him 10-8. If you were 6'5", you'd be in the NBA.
No, even if you were 7'5", you'd be in the NBA.
No. Whatever. I understand the point you're making.
I
I understand the point you're making. So I'm going to go with it instead of saying whatever right. I'm going to go with it. That's why I gave him the 10-8 round regardless.
Yeah, that's what I do.
What
I do that typically too.
So I didn't care if Fury won the rest of the round. I gave him
Did Fury's taunting sway you or any other
taunting? Nah,
taunting? He was, the head taunting, the hands behind the back.
No.
Did that kind of sway somebody's opinion?
I think the out jabbing and then the combination punching. Really, combination punch is a big key there, bro. I mean, Deontay didn't throw a combination all night.
So you think the style in which you throw the punches?
Find me a combination Deontay threw.
What 12th round? The 2-3. The 2-3 in the 12th round.
The 2-3 and 12 round. No. The 2-3 and 12 round was the right hand. He's already hurt, and the 3 comes.
That's still a combination.
Okay.
It's still a combination.
He gets a 10-8 round.
Yeah.
Throw me another combination. Find me another combination.
That's the most memorable one. So I would have to rewatch the fight.
You're not gonna find one. You're gonna find this 1, 2, 3, 4.
So
you're gonna find those. Those aren't combinations. Those are consecutive punches.
Right.
A combination is
Got it.
because you're balanced enough to put it together. If you're not balanced enough to put it together, those are consecutive punches. They're not in combination. And regardless, that's why he missed them. Because if he's able to be balanced enough to put them in a combination instead of as consecutive punches, he probably lands some of those in some of those situations where he's missing 4 or 5 at a time in a row. You know what I mean? But because they're one at a time and he's not balanced, he's not able to put it together. Now again, this isn't like I feel like Deontay took it personal. Like this is me feeling like I'm. It's not just boxing. For me, it's like I said. I wish the best on both guys when they get in the ring. But I know how hard it is to make a living. You know what I'm saying? So I wish the best for both guys when they get in the ring. And if somebody gets hard done by, I'll argue for them. You know what I mean? But if they don't, they don't. You know what I mean?
Malignaggi for president.
Yo, what's
In
up,
what
bro?
country? Italy? Shit.
Not even, bro.
I know, right?
I got too many scandals.
So do you think that taunting maybe caused Wilder to start overthrowing and threw him out of his game a little bit?
You know what I really think looking back? I think Fury is underrated in that he's very big. He's a very big guy. You know what I mean? Like he's tall
6'9",
and yeah, he's tall. If you get in the clinch with him, it's like a tree trunk.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Like he's big, so you got to suddenly find range, and you're looking at him. You know, it's one thing to talk to him. And be like, when you find yourself in front of him, and you're like, you find sometimes you find yourself in front of somebody, and you've been in front of him at the press conference one. Now you find yourself like. Oh shit! You know what I mean? This is different. You know what I mean? Like it's. I just feel like it was a little different. You know what I mean? It's hard to find a sparring partner to mimic a guy like Fury because he's got weird movement. He's very nimble. I think that's part of why he doesn't punch hard that hard is because he's not really sitting on a lot of his shots because he's so nimble. But his nimbleness makes him awkward. You know what I'm saying? But again, if you're going to give me the Deontay route that he won, you got to give me a fair assessment of how he won the fight. Oh, yo, Cam!
What's up, Boom Boom? You against Paulie, who wins?
You ain't stopped. My brother ain't stopped. You get hyped up. What's up?
Hey, a good fight if you come back to fight Paulie?
No, you want to he can be my son for crying
Well, Paulie got to cut weight. I don't think he want to do that right now.
He can be my son. What do you realize?
Paulie out here living his best
How
life.
young you look.
I'm
Let me call Keith Thurman. You better not dunk me, son.
Oh, boom, boom! I got to put you on the spot.
Oh, dog.
You gave Charlo every round against Harrison.
Yeah, look, I enjoyed Harrison. I'm telling you this first. What's
Tony Harrison?
Tony.
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed. His brother was fun in the interview before the fight. He's like a very likable guy. I don't want him to do it, but you can't knock out. He's a good guy. And when the fight is far off the view, can't win the fight going back. And then we see the movie. Can't do it. Now, Tony fought. He fought through good combinations. Ain't good combinations. But come on now. But that's all. But I like Tony. That's what
We all like these fighters.
For me, that's another fight.
For
me, that's another fight like Garcia and Porter, where like I told you,
7-5 either way.
Where you're watching, you're like shit around up close because there's one thing about a challenger going backwards, but Tony wasn't running. Tony was
Sidestepping.
Tony was always. I use the word position because I think it's very important. When you go backwards, if you mislip a shot and you're like out of position, or your opponent's here, and you're all the way here, like. To me, then okay, you're giving up your position. Tony was not giving up his position.
Here's the rub on that.
So that's why it's close both ways for me.
Here's the rub on that. you got to throw punches to win. Baby's talking about, the only way you beat another guy, hit him more than he hits you. Tony didn't do it that night. That's all I'm saying. Tony did a hell of a fight, but he fought in spurts. This kid kept coming. Effective aggression is one thing, but if you're pressing a fight, here's the way. You got two guys in there. Who's making the fight? If he ain't in there, is there a fight? That's how you got to look at it.
I'm not arguing one way or the other because I think it's the fight that will go either way. But I give Tony's jab a lot of credit.
Tony, I like him. Because when he fought hard.
Because I don't think either guy got off that much, and I think that a big reason for that was because Tony's jab was working.
It was working.
And so I don't think either guy got off that much. If you give the fight to Charlo, I don't have a problem. It's one of those fights, like I said, I hate watching fights like that because you know as you're watching it, you're going to be like, shit, somebody's going to feel real hard done by at the end of this fight. And it sucks to feel that way. It really sucks.
Now, you already know our styles as fighters because he likes the guy who's going to give that jab.
Yes, he
I'm
does.
not going to go pressing the action. If he ain't in there, there ain't no fight. That's it. There ain't no fight.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
I like Tony Harrison. Funny cat. Good brother. That's it. But I felt, but I like him. But they just didn't do enough for me to win the fight. That's it.
Boom, if you could fight anybody today, let's say you could come back from one fight, who would you want to fight?
Oh, man, look, you know what? Like,
TV
let's
guy.
say,
He's doing a great job.
No, but Ray's a TV friendly fighter too.
You know, Ray, if I come back fight, you want to make it a guy that's to
world
be
of
the
sport.
best. You want to fight the best.
Loma?
You know what? No, but Lomachenko's a hell of a fighter. He's a headache for anybody. He's a headache. But the only way you beat a guy like him, same way you beat a guy like Floyd, anybody who gets that good movement, that great movement, it's pressure. Pressure is the only way you beat a guy like that. So, but I'm not saying I beat him. I'm just saying that's the only way you beat a guy like that. So you fight a guy like that. But is it exciting? Is it fan friendly? Is it good for the fans? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it ain't. So there's a lot of good fighters out there. There's a lot of good fighters. But who would I want to fight? Shit, I don't want to fight nobody. I mean, I'm fighting to get to the child line. That's it. That's the only fight I want to do.
How do you like being on TV?
That was never in a bad fight.
Hey, Paulie,
bro.
any advice from you've been doing the commentary for many years? He just started with Fox.
Ray was on TV when I was a child. Ray was on TV when I was a kid.
Hey, I said, man, you gotta do your diligence, brother. Look, I've done it for every major network 30 years. I was in the 80s, I was calling fights. But, Paulie,
He was working for TV before I knew how to turn on the TV.
But I'll tell you this, ain't nobody better than my brother.
I know, I say that.
He's the
Always
most
number one,
entertaining guy
Paulie.
and knowledgeable.
He's
guy.
entertaining, very entertaining.
So we never fought in the ring, but now I'm challenging for the best commentator. The best commentator. That's a challenger.
There you go. That's a fight you can get
I gotta
into.
go, man. Good to see you.
Paulie,
I love it.
you enjoy Boom Boom?
All the best, bro. But,
Why?
Especially me as an Italian fighter, he's one of the guys that always people talk about in my house, obviously you got Marciano and whatever, but during my time as a kid, it's Boom Boom, Toro Gotti, that was guys in my house that we always loved,
What did you think about that Kobarov-Charlo fight?
Which one?
Korobov,
Charlo
excuse me.
fight. That was a good ass fight, bro.
Yeah,
That was a good ass
I
fight.
thought it was good.
Again, it's one of those fights where, it's hard to score, but it's a little. Charlo's a little sharper at the end of the fight. You know what I'm saying? I really felt it was a difficult fight to score as well, but I felt like the slower pace of the first Charlo fight with Harrison, and just things are happening in small spots, and you're like, man, who do I get? There's 2 minutes, like a little spot here, a little spot there, and the rest of the spot, the rest of the dead spots, I'm looking for somebody to give a position, somebody to do something that where I'm like, all right, he made him do that, and I'm like, damn, bro, both guys got such great positioning, both guys got such good hand positioning, feet positioning, balance, they're ready to shoot shots, it's like they're both like their eyes are like on each other. They fought at a distance. You see how at a distance they fought at? I always observe when guys can fight at this distance right in front of each other, as opposed to like this distance. Bro, that's high concentration, bro. Because I don't know, is this coming off the right way? Because in this distance right here, it's like I can be hit with anything, and I'm right here and I'm comfortable. As opposed to a lot of fights are like
Boy Cotto.
Oh yeah, yes,
Boy Cotto.
yes,
Boy
yes.
Cotto.
Cotto drive you crazy with that, bro. Golovkin, guys like that drive you crazy with that because, especially that they can punch on top of it too. It's like it's such a high concentration, bro. So when I see fights like that, I'm like, bro, both of these guys are on it tonight, bro. Both these guys are on because it's very rare. So a lot of times you'll see a guy fights at this distance, then they'll exchange and whatever, or get into a clinch, and they'll be back at this distance, But when they're consistently at this distance and they're both sharp and everything, you're like, damn, and I get stressed watching it because I'm like, damn,
Yeah,
bro.
dude.
Andre
These
Ward.
guys are on it. Yes, these guys are on it. Like
I love
both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like both guys can fight it. It's like they were on it that night, bro. I think it's gonna be an unappreciated fight because I think everybody got lost in the whole mayhem of the decision and whatnot. And honestly, I felt like, and I'm not saying Charlo shouldn't feel like he won the fight. You know, I'm not saying I feel like I'm very confident either guy won the fight. I just don't think there's a wrong decision there. You make it a draw, you have a case. You make it a Charlo win, you have a case. You make it a Harrison win, you have a case. And you want to say you can't win the title because Harrison went backwards? To a degree, you have a point. You only have a point to a degree because, like I said, Tony didn't run. Tony was always in position, stepping. He was going backwards, he was stepping. And so there's a difference between running and stepping. Okay, because when you're stepping, what happens? The guy can't attack you. If you're running, the guy can attack you. But if you're stepping, you know what the difference is? Your position. You know why? Because as you're stepping, you can always fire. And that guy, and your opponent has to respect that. And you know what he does? He won't fire at you because he knows you're in position to punch. So what do you have? You have a fight with a lot of waiting. Even though they're in great position, there's a lot of waiting because both guys know the other guy is always in great punch position. Both guys are always in great punch position. I don't even know if people listening to this are going to even understand this. It's such a high level, you know? But for me, I understand.
No, you're dumbing it down. We're getting it.
Yeah, you broke it down.
Yeah. Devin Haney fought last night. You guys have similar attributes coming up.
Yeah, I like that.
Really electric.
I like that. I watched one of his sparring recently. Showtime wanted me to have a look at him, and I looked at him and I'm like, people know me at the end of my career. A lot of Johnny Come Lately boxing fans, but early in my career, I had a lot of the qualities I see in Devin. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think I was as taken care of, when I got to a certain point. I had to kind of just fight all the monsters all at once, But I think Devin has a lot of the attributes I had with his speed, the jab, even the way he kind of moves around and do. I see a lot of what I was doing back then, but I think that TV has taken to him better, and everybody kind of has taken to him better. So I think he's going to be able to maybe have a chance to develop a little bit better than I was given a chance. Because also, I had a lot of hand injuries early in my career. People don't know. The Johnny Come-Ladies don't know all the hand surgeries I had. Like, my career almost ended before it made it anywhere. Before I had fought for a title. So with all the surgeries I had to have. So I think Devin. On the raw side of it, we have very similar styles, but I think Devin has potential to develop a lot better than I was able to for all those reasons. He's healthy, and I think he's got a good team behind him. Not that I had a bad team. I don't want to shit on anybody in any fight. There were the situations I had to take were a little tougher.
Thurman and Lopez, what you think?
It's a good fight. I think for however long it lasts, I think it's a good fight because Josecito always fights. Josecito comes unintimidated. Remember Josecito versus Victor Ortiz? People just thought he was the opponent of the moment. And he came out fighting, and he kind of overwhelmed Victor, I think he's going to come out doing the same thing. I've been saying I think that Thurman may get him in the end because it's Thurman. But he's not gonna get to warm back into things. He's gonna. You've been off 2 years. You've been off 2 years. And they put you right on the autobahn, bro. They're not gonna put you on the. They're not gonna put you on the highway with those traffic lights on. You're right on the autobahn.
Deacon Expressway.
Bro, because I think Josecito gonna press him right off the jump. So, but I think also Thurman at a certain point likes that kind of fight, and he'll welcome himself back into it. I think it's a really good action fight for however long it lasts. I'd probably go with the natural size of Thurman, and he's more in his prime. But like I said, bro, Josecito's not the guy who comes intimidated, and for however long it lasts, he's gonna make it a fight. And I think it's gonna be entertaining.
Had the power to get him because Thurman's
it's
gonna take
a few rounds for him to get into it. He may not have the power to get him, but bro, getting punched in the face doesn't tickle, bro. Even if a guy doesn't concuss you or rock you, you take a punch in the face, bro. You're gonna think, all right, you know what? Let me step back.
Let me tell this guy really quick.
I wasn't the biggest puncher, but I won 2 world titles because the timing of the shots. When you don't see them coming, they don't feel good. They may not take away your legs, or they may not knock you out, but you're gonna be like, oh shit, let me step back and analyze it. How do I slow this down? You know what I mean? Like you still create doubt because a punch in the face is a punch in the face regardless, bro. Even if a girl hits you in the face, you're just gonna say like, all right, it doesn't hurt. Hit me again. Your girl hit you in the face, bro. I've been punching in the face by girls, bro. Some of them chicks say hit you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
was it Jessica?
No. I didn't give a fuck about that. I didn't give a fuck about that. The girls you get to a fight with, I see the ones you actually care about. Yeah, the only ones you actually get to a fight with.
Those are AB problems.
Yeah, no, not even AB problems. I don't even think AB cares. That wasn't the chick anybody's gonna care for.
Did you watch All Access last night?
I didn't. Did
you watch the first one at all?
No, I didn't. I tend to watch them all at the end all at once.
They did a great job.
So I get pumped for the fight. I'll watch them all at the end.
Speaking of, by all accounts, you guys are going to have fighter meetings, and y'all going to do y'all sacrimonious one-on-one conversation with you and Adrian Broner. What you going to tell Adrian Broner before he leaves the fighter meetings Friday?
I can't. you know, I think AB's his own man. AB's almost 30 years old, but he'll be 30, I think, in the summer, you know? So I think...
But you always pat them on the back, give them advice.
Because AB, I see that there is somebody inside of AB that can come out and be like a productive person to himself. Forget about society. Forget about all that shit. You know what I mean? Because, you know, people, society's fickle. But productive in terms of not getting in his own way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and securing himself and his kids and his family for the future. You know what I mean? Like, AB's been given opportunities that fighters would die for.
Pacquiao.
You know what I'm saying? You know, forget about Pacquiao, just throughout his career. You know what I'm saying? So, and not to say that he's not been good enough to deserve it, because he has been. But there are also a lot of good fighters who never get such good opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So, all it is I see, like, you know, there's somebody there inside of him that, you know, I think wants to do it right, but he also just falls into all the pitfalls of the fame and all the pitfalls of all
Is he
everybody
afraid
around
of fame?
him.
Is he afraid of
No,
fame?
I don't think he's afraid of fame. I think he loves fame. I'll be honest with you. I think AB loves
Or greatness.
Fame.
Greatness is a better adjective.
But I think he's I don't know what it is, man. I'm not a psychologist, but I tell you what,
But you from the streets of Brooklyn?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I do see somebody there that, you know, has so much potential. I just don't want him to regret it. I just don't want him to be 40 years old one day and be in some apartment and just be like, man, I had this all, you know, some ex-fighters and some ex-champions that I came up with when I was a teenager, and they were in my gym and they were just unbelievable, and now I see the way
they're hurting right now.
You know, and so I just don't want to see that. Like, it's one thing when you see that the generation before you when you're coming up. It's another thing when you start seeing it in your own generation. You know, AB's a younger generation than me, so I feel like, you know, these are young guys now. You know what I mean? Now I'm the older guy, and I've seen this. I've seen this road, and I see what it leads to. You know,
what is one of the biggest pitfalls you think that could happen? I mean, there's so much out there.
I mean,